All right, welcome back. Whitlock and Wiley, Eric Dickerson and Bucky Brooks are back. Let's move to Tom Brady, who might have turned 42 this weekend, but that didn't stop him from signing a 2-year contract extension, which keeps him under contract in New England through 2022 and raises his salary this season from $15 million to $23 million. But as the NFL Network's Ian Rappaport reports, the final 2 years of the deal actually void at the end of this year, and the Patriots cannot use the franchise or transition tag on Brady. All right, the question here is, I think that either Brady or the Patriots want this to end sooner than later. Yeah. I'm not 100% sure who, but I'm asking you guys, who is more eager to see this contract play out, Brady or the Patriots?
Patriots. It's not even a close call for me. Look, the Super Bowl champion New England Patriots, let me say that respectfully. So while you have this level of success, it's obvious. Let's just keep rolling with it, even though it may be moving the ball down the field in terms of what we have to ultimately make in terms of decision. But the Patriots are like, we're not rushing to get you out the door, but it is soon as we see underperformance, as soon as we see that we're not living up to expectations. And that could be divisional round loss for this team. It's a Super Bowl champion team. As soon as they see it, they're going to run with it. Because you can see too many predictions already of his demise early. And then you're going to see that the narrative is already out there with his age and birth certificate. So as soon as they see any sign that gives them the opportunity to say, let's move on, they will. Because one, the next quarterback will be cheaper, more than likely drafted through their system on a rookie deal. You can have that guy on a cheaper contract. Two, you remove a power figure out of this equation in New England where it's just going to be Kraft and Belichick. And we've seen Belichick a little eager to do that before with Jimmy G, and it didn't work out like he desired. I think next time they're ready to pull the plug.
Before you guys hop in, Marcellus, you have flipped me and helped me to see that they've already set the standard. They move on from guys before they fall off a cliff. And if they don't do it with Brady, then, oh, you got a different set of rules for Tom Brady.
Yeah.
So they've set a standard that this is how we do all players. Everything we've ever heard about Belichick and Brady is Belichick treats Brady like everybody else. The system's in place for the Patriots to move on from Brady.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it is in place for them to move on. I think this is smart business for them. I think this is how they've gotten down. They've been successful being able to do this. They would rather move on from you a year too early than a year too late. And I also think the stars are lining up where if they make this move, they could have two options available for them. We know that they drafted Jarrett Stidham. They took Jarrett Stidham last year. He's already there. But also, there are two guys that could come up as free agents when they move on for Tom Brady. Jacoby Brissett, the Indianapolis Colts, he will be at the end of his rookie deal, I think at the end of this year. And then Jimmy Garoppolo. If Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't play well in San Francisco, they can move on from that contract this year. So Bill Belichick, in essence, could still get someone that he developed to replace Tom Brady and not worry about the ship sinking when he does depart.
Well, I agree with you. New England Patriots for sure. I mean, they gonna move on. I mean, look, Tom Brady's 42, not 32, not even 22. But the big thing is for Tom Brady is like all players, you know, when you come in, you love football. You love playing it. You love everything about it. I'm sure he still loves the sport. That's why he won't quit playing. I mean, at this age, at 42 years old, he's won multiple Super Bowls. What else do you have to prove? The thing now is, I love it. What else am I going to do? I don't have anything to do. Look, my wife makes most of the money. If somebody asks you, okay, A, you have a nice girl over here with a nice little job. B, you have the supermodel that's making $40, $50 million a year. Bob, I'll take B.
No doubt.
No doubt.
Yeah,
so,
man.
I mean, for Tom Brady, it's the love of the – that's why he still plays it, because I can think about it. You know, you think about when you first came in. I mean, I loved everything about the practice, you know, the smell of it. But, you know, when you get older, for us, you know, playing running back, defense, you know, you're like, man, I can't take too many more of these hits. Quarterback is different.
All right, let me ask this then. Maybe both sides want this year to be it. Could you see Tom Brady, because Rappaport says Tom Brady, free agent after this season. Could you see Tom Brady playing in another uniform? Do you think he's capable of doing that?
Yes, but I think it's going to be with trepidation. I think Tom Brady is being sold right now loyalty, brand, and the fact that if you stay a Patriot, what that means in terms of TB12 and every other endeavor you do. Like that whole Kobe model, you know, drafted Lakers, retired Lakers, that means something. Duncan, all these greats. So he's being sold that, but he's also thinking of what's my out. That's why in this same contract, you can't franchise me. You can't make me stay here unless it's under the circumstances and conditions I desire. So that means, to me, the player in him is saying, I could put on a different jersey if forced to. Now, the Patriots are sitting there like, I don't know what your value is. You're 42. There's no precedent. We don't know what to look at. You're the best house in the neighborhood that there are no comps. It's like, who else is 42 doing this? So we have no comps. So your value is what? And as long as you're winning a Super Bowl, it's not a conversation. But it's impossible to keep winning Super Bowls. So the next time this dips, that's when they're going to strike.
You know, I think it's a situation. They are constantly evaluating his performance and production. But I do believe Tom hears all the outside noise. He's heard that for so long. He's been propped up by Bill Belichick. Maybe there is a bit of a competitor in him that maybe he finishes somewhere else because he wants to prove to people that he can win. I'm not saying that it's so because he's been so tied to the Patriots, but maybe there is something like, oh, okay, you don't think I can play? How about I go back home to San Francisco? Or how about I go somewhere else and prove to you that I still have it?
I'd say no. He's a Patriot for life. I mean, I just feel like that with Tom Brady, like most athletes that have an opportunity to finish with the team they started with, he's won, like I say, again, multiple Super Bowls.
Michael Jordan finished with the Wizards.
Yeah, but it's not the same.
Peyton Manning went to Denver, got a Super Bowl.
He didn't want to.
Didn't want, but he did.
But he didn't want to. That's the difference. He didn't want to, and he doesn't have to. That's not like Tom Brady doesn't have to. Like when he finished his career, he's done everything he wanted to do. It's not like I didn't just win one more Super Bowl, just one more. Just let me get one more. It's not like that.
Let me prove one time I can do it without Belichick.
Yeah, but I still say the same thing. I think it means more to him to just have worn one uniform his whole career. And once again, got that wife that's making all that money. Look, stay at home with these kids.
All right, with our nannies.
Before we go,
all our nannies.
I want to commend Ed Reed and Tony Gonzalez for their Pro Football Hall of Fame induction speeches. The greatest safety and the greatest tight end gave two of the most unique speeches in the history of Canton, Ohio. Gonzalez spoke with the polish of a seasoned broadcaster. Reed spoke with a candor that social media desperately tries to prevent. They used their life stories to craft messages aimed at young people. While fighting tears, Reed discussed the choices he had to make at an early age to protect his athletic future and his opportunity to uplift his family from poverty.
I had to grow up fast, y'all. I had to mature real fast because of my environment. It was crime-infested, drugs, police, all kind of things going on.
Reed said a police officer stopped him one night, forced him to get in the back of his patrol car, and gave him advice that would change his life.
Son, I know you. I see you around here playing sports. See, you don't need to be hanging with those other kids and other guys because you have something.
Reed said he backed away from friends involved in criminal activity. He moved in with a school counselor and her husband to avoid the violence and trouble in his own neighborhood. Reed then added,
I would say, to the point of what we have going on in our society, don't aggravate, or should I say, push an officer to have to do something they don't have to do, shouldn't have to do. We all are human beings. Just make it home, man. Take your ticket and go. Just take that slap on the wrist and get arrested.
Reed's words were simple common sense, but that kind of public airing of common sense has been illegalized by social media. We pretend there is value in arguing with armed men and women who the government has granted life and death power. Gonzalez's speech focused on explaining how he used failure and criticism to evolve and grow.
The downs is where the learning is. That's where the knowledge comes. That is the reason why I'm standing here. It's not about the touchdowns. It's not about the catches. It's not about the glory. The most learning you'll ever do is when you go through the bad times. In fact, that's part of it. That's part of it. So welcome that when it comes, because I know what it's done for me.
Gonzalez's initial years at Cal Berkeley were a waste because he prioritized socializing and partying. His second year in the NFL, he led the league in drops and appeared to be a bust. He changed his approach to the game and his mindset by reading books about some of the greatest achievers in sports and life.
All you kids out there playing football or any sport, when you start out, it ain't how you start out, it's how you finish. First thing you got to do is get through that fear. First thing you got to do.
So much of modern discourse is compromised by celebrities saying things publicly they don't say privately. I ask people all the time, is that the advice you would give your kids? I didn't have to ask that Saturday night listening to Ed Reed and Tony Gonzalez. More Speak for Yourself after this.